Well, good morning. I wasn't going to do a video today. I was going to have a take a break for you and for me. Yes, I am wearing the same t-shirt as yesterday, well spotted. I like to get about 2 days out of it. And plus I'm going to see a version of that this evening. What was I going to say? Oh, I woke up this morning on Twitter to find there was a new leaked letter. This one is mercifully short, thank God. I actually managed to get through it all in the one reading. Interesting, this is a letter written after Lloyd and Mrs. Evans had had a sort of Zoom meeting with a marriage counsellor, whereupon Mrs. Lloyd, Mrs. Evans had dropped the bombshell that she actually wanted a divorce. And he then explains the reason why we all got hold of that picture of him and the young girl from Thailand is because Lloyd, not being the sharpest tool in the box, had stupidly forgot that when he took pictures on his phone they were getting backed up in his iCloud account, which Mrs. Evans back in Croatia could see exactly what he was doing and who with. But he talks about this actual person and how she made him feel like a real man by only stroking his leg. Anyway, I'll read it yourself. The one thing I found really interesting is this bit. I'll only read this bit because this one I found really odd. During our exchanges back in Croatia, you had indicated that my meeting sex workers was not as hurtful for you as my meeting women in bars during work trips or online sex workers are. Sorry, that doesn't make any sense. Can I read that again? During our exchanges back in Croatia, you had indicated that my meeting sex workers were not as hurtful for you as my meeting women in bars during work trips or online. Sex workers are, after all, there to do one thing, and there's zero romance involved. Oh dear. So I was sure you would agree to a new arrangement based on total honesty whereby I came off all dating apps. So clearly, before this occasion, this isn't just a case of, this is an admission here, that it wasn't just a case of him meeting up sex workers for paid sex. Clearly, he was all during this time period meeting other women in bars, during work trips or online, and was on dating apps. So it isn't just a case of being unfaithful to his wife for paid sex. He was clearly trying to just meet anybody he could. You know, we go over to a country, dating apps. Well, we saw this in his trip in London. Clearly not the first time he's done this. He'd go off at night and then go in a bar waiting to chat up a girl to hopefully at the end of the day to get little Lloyd some little action. Clearly, it's not just about prostitution. Clearly, it's not being unfaithful with paid sex workers. It's clearly a case that during, for a hell of a long time, maybe the whole relationship, he was being a really unfaithful bastard. He said the honesty about coming off all dating apps, limit myself purely to occasional porn as a means of satisfying myself sexually, fastidiously behave myself on work trips, and every month or 2 months, depending on what we agree, head off to Zagreb to meet a sex worker. So there you go. So this was a new arrangement he wanted to enter in with his wife, whereupon every couple of months he'd say, right, I'm going to behave myself now on work trips. I won't meet, I'll come off all the dating sites, I'll limit myself to occasional porn, but every 2 months I'm going to head off to Zagreb to get satisfied by a sex worker. And this is what he thought would work. This is an arrangement that he thought his wife would be happy with. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that in any relationship where the wife would be quite happy to let the husband knowingly say, right, I'm just off now there, okay, anything while you want while I'm out. Anything, well, I'm just going to go get me knob sucked. Anything you want while I'm out. What should I bring back? Well, firstly, don't bring back HIV, that'd be nice, any sexually transmitted diseases, and also some milk. It's just bizarre. I just cannot understand this. Anyway, I'm just going to leave that for you to read yourself, trying to get into the real mind of this person. And it is now working, putting up hashtag Lloyd Evans Truth Campaign, hashtag Lloyd Evans Defamation Campaign. When you now go into YouTube and go into Google, videos are coming up, including my own, which is what we wanted to do anyway, is just get more stuff out there so the potential new disciples and new followers in the Lloyd Davidians can all of a sudden find out the real truth about the alleged defamation campaign and what this guy's really been up to, and hopefully they can read this and thinking this guy is a real slimeball. Anyway, just a quick video, and